Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Today I'm going to give you a recommendation on perhaps my favourite combo or pairing of products that I have seen in the last 3 years of doing this channel. And we've had a lot of sealants, waxes, God knows. We're in the hundreds of how many we looked at, and this is my favourite by a long way. And there's some really strong reasons around why you should consider this pairing of products. So what is the pairing of products? First up, something we talked about before on the channel, Systems Moonlight lightweight ceramic. I've done a video on this, you can go and watch it. I gave it a good review, but my opinion of it has grown stronger since that review. So that would be the base type protective product, your main bread and butter protection, and then your kind of product that you then use kind of periodically on top of that. Gyeon Wet Coat, something I've also talked about on the channel in the Gyeon review, but I wanted to give them both a little bit of attention in this particular video and tell you why I think these are two fantastic products. Let's start with the Systems Moonlight. Now, so this is a lightweight ceramic that contains, I believe, around 25% still in the bottle of the inorganic liquid silazane resin. So it's the same underlying chemistry that you'll find in a lot of the ceramic coatings. It's leaving the same material behind, but it's carried in a more friendly oil-based carrier, which makes it very easy to spread, although ceramics are typically easy to spread out. But it also doesn't make it kind of sticky, and there's less pressure. You're less conscious of waiting for this kind of flash to occur and then getting the leveling and the buff right. You can almost just spread this out over a panel, give it a second, and then just buff it back, and it's so easy to use. The durability of this product, Systems claim around 9 months, and I believe it will do that easily. It is laying down hard material that you really, if you want to take it off straight away, you'll need to abrade off. But you can remove it with most finishing polishes, as long as you've got a bit of cut. Most general lightweight polishes will take them off. But the thing is, that 9-month kind of durability makes it a little bit less hardcore than when you're putting a ceramic coating down. Especially a ceramic coating that's going to do 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You really do not want that many defects in that paint when you put that ceramic coating on top. And it's a bit of a disaster if you do start spotting them afterwards underneath the coating. Because the whole, it's such an endeavour putting it on. You're not going to really take it off unless you absolutely have to. With this stuff, you could argue there's less pressure to really do that perfect kind of prep. For example, the Golf out there, I could go and give that a light polish, whiz over it in a couple of hours, degrease it, and then put the Systems Moonlight on it. And, the reality is there'll be scratches and stuff that I haven't got out, and it's not a perfect car. But I'm never going to know, and in 8 or 9 months' time, this product is going to have eroded away anyway. So it wouldn't bother me that it was there. But like I say, it's even easier to remove if I can. Also, another positive with the Systems Moonlight, beyond the more realistic kind of durability and ease of use and all that sort of stuff. What is the other benefit? What is the other bloody benefit? Oh, for Jesus Christ's sake. Oh, the other benefit is a very simple one. Is the product costs around about 30 quid, which when you're looking at all these sealants and you don't know what this stuff is for the first time, you think 30 quid? Jesus, that's expensive. But you're getting 250 millilitres of ceramic that you apply in the same way as a normal ceramic if you want to. I reckon you've got like, what, 15, 20 cars worth of ceramics here. So if you're in the trade, this would be a great product to have and offer a lightweight ceramic package, because it costs you very little. You're using little fractions of the bottle. This is over a year old as well, and it's completely fine. It's completely stable and all that sort of stuff. So the oil that it's held in seems to really preserve the product well, as so one of the other things, you could argue that for guys at home, you don't need this much product. That's the thing. If you've got 1 or 2 cars, you might apply that much, and then you've got all this bottle left. Well, in 9 months' time, it will still be good to use. You could get your way through it, but you could argue that Tax should maybe do a 100 millilitre offering of it, or even a 50 millilitre offering, and then if that was 15 quid, it'd be ideal or something like that. But on the simple point, guys, I'm rabbiting on. It's very good value, this stuff. It really is. Much better bang for your buck than using those awful Chinese ones that I was talking about definitely. Product as well, if you watch the review, is very hydrophobic, will deliver on its durability claims and all that sort of stuff. And it's just a lightweight ceramic. I'm not going to talk too much about all that. Go and watch the Systems Moonlight video if you want to. The next product is Gyeon Wet Coat. Now I think a lot of people might be aware of this wet coat. If you're not, it's a very concentrated silazane that you can use while the car is wet. So you can rinse, clean your car, have water on it and spray it on a wet car and rinse it off. It costs £18 for a litre of this product, which might sound expensive. It's actually, we'll talk about the price a little bit later on. What are the bad things that people say about this product? Well, I see pictures on forums and Facebook groups of little splodges or little streaks of the product where someone sprayed it on the panel and they've said it's dried on the panel and I can't get it off. That seems to be going on all the time. And unfortunately, if you get that, you are misusing the product. They tell you about it. The thing with this is, because you're spraying, it's been formulated to spray on wet panels, it's extremely concentrated product. You need to think of this product as a bottle of iron filings and think of your car as a magnet, you know, like the magnetized fridge. When you spray the iron filings onto your car, they are drawn to the clear coat. So if you spray some of this on one panel when it's even moderately warm and dry, and you move on to the next panel, and then you move on to the next panel and you think, I better be careful with this stuff, they say in the sun. By the time you go back to the first one to rinse it 30 seconds later, it may well have already dried and you'll have a very thick concentration of the silazane in that particular place, and then you're going to run into issues, okay? So maybe the companies could do more to kind of explain that. I don't know. Sometimes with these new chemicals, there is a chance that things can go wrong when you use them, although this isn't the only wet coat on the market, or it isn't the only water-based silazane on the market that could happen with. So the first thing to understand is if you're going to use it wet, spray it onto the panel, rinse it straight off, and just try and rinse it over the panel to get the coverage, and then, like I say, it's drawn to that panel. If you do it that way, you also end up using more product than you potentially need to. What I'd recommend you do with these particular products, wash your car, then dry your car with a towel, get a microfiber, good quality microfiber applicator, dunk it in water so it's saturated and soaking wet in water. Just give it a little bit of a squeeze out. Don't wring all of that water out there, just you want it wet. And then either spritz straight onto that microfiber applicator, that wet microfiber applicator, and then cover the product over all of that particular panel, or spray it onto the panel and then work it straight away over that one particular panel and then dry that particular panel, and that's it, you're done. Do not buff this, don't buff any silazane product. It doesn't need buffing, just needs to be covered where you're going, and then it just needs to be kind of leveled back with the microfiber, and then that's it. Any water that's still left there will just flash away and you'll leave the silazane in its place. Use it that way and it's incredible value for money. You've got so much concentration here. 18 quid, I think roughly that's the price for a litre of this. And it's highly concentrated with the silazanes. You talk about most detail sprays and they're a tenner for a 500ml bottle. Well, 80 to 90% of that, in some examples, is water. I'm telling you, 89 to 90% of this product is not water. This is, like I say, very, very concentrated. So it's good value for money, this particular thing. There is lots of guises of this product around out there. And I'll just say this on it. Some companies are asking you to pay an unfair price for it compared to what some other companies are offering. And Gyeon are asking you to pay a fair price for it, I think at £18. At least in my opinion. What else with the wet coat product? For me, once you've applied this to your car, you can notice it when you're going to dry your car the next time, that as well as obviously the hydrophobic effect and the water falling off, which is the main thing people love about this product. It's very reactive when it's been applied. I can actually feel the paintwork feels nice and slick, and the car's really lovely to dry, and I love that. So a car that's been protected with wet coat, I find easier to maintain. It's also glossy. But the coolest thing about it is I think it has really good durability as well. I've heard people say they've sprayed it on, done the wet application, it's lasted 3 weeks. Well, that is absolute nonsense. I don't know what they're doing. Well, I think I do know what they're doing. One, their idea of durability is that if the product is not like as reactive it is from the moment they applied it, and when they test it 3 weeks later, then the product has started to fail and it's not doing anything. This product will do 2 to 3 months on a wet application for sure, because I've done it on the Golf. If you prep a panel and apply it using the damp microfiber method that I described, you'll get about 4 to 6 months out of these products. And that's not some bold claim, that's just consistent with all other forms of the siloxanes that I've used. But whatever is going on with the chemistry of this product, it's just, sometimes other siloxane products you can notice the repellency, but they can feel a bit dead. They can look a bit dead and you wouldn't really know they're on there beyond the hydrophobicity. But the reason I like this is because there's other things going on which I can notice, and I can also get a lot of value for money out of this product at the price, using it the way that I use it. So guys, this is just my opinion, but out of all the stuff that I've seen in the last 3 years, this combo of products is absolutely cutting edge in terms of the materials that are being used. Well, the siloxanes have been around for a fair old while, so has the silica, but what else has really updated them, you know, superseded them? Nothing really. And there's all sorts of benefits to these products. Obviously this requires a little bit more in-depth preparation, but then once this is on, maintaining it with this is so rapid. You get, you know, it makes looking after your car a lot easier as well. So I love these two particular products. One of the perks of doing the channel is that I get to discover all this sort of stuff, and they are my personal favourites. It's worth mentioning that the Gyeon Wet Coat, not Wet Coat, the Gyeon, what the hell is it called? Can Coat that's sitting up there is a similar sort of thing. It's a lightweight ceramic, but I don't believe the formulations are the same. Gyeon Wet Coat may be a little bit more hydrophobic. That might be an advantage with it. But it's also a little bit more sticky to remove. Nothing to panic about when you use that word sticky, but just a little bit more resistance when you buff it away. Either one I like, but if you had to twist my arm, I prefer the Systems Moonlight. Someone told me it's got a higher silica content, but I find it's the application. It just is smoother to apply, and that draws me towards it a little bit. But it's repellent as well in its own right. Crazy when you first apply it. So that's pretty much the best that I've seen. And it's a little bit less hardcore, like I've said, than the full-on ceramics. Less scary and just more easy to live with. And they sort of fit in with how I want to kind of maintain my cars. And like I say, I could put it on the Golf, and in 9 months' time I might want to, you know, be at that stage where I feel like I want to give the Golf a little tickle with a nice finishing polish and gloss it up. And if I've got ceramic on it, it's not really an option. So that's one of the reasons I like it, but all the other reasons I've explained as well. So in the comments, guys, let me know what your favourite kind of little combo of products is to protect your car, and why. That would be really useful. So this was a really quick informal one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. So it's Systems Moonlight and Systems and Gyeon Wet Coat. I'll put links to where you can get them as always in the description. That's it for this one, guys. Take care. Bye now.
Where was I when you